I'm Jay, and this is my part one. This is part two in my video guide to running Grimoire campaign setting for Spheres of Power by Drop Dead Studios. This series was inspired by the Spheres of Power world-building semi-contest. So here we go, part two. Part two is about running Grimoire and the magic and technology of the world. So, running Grimoire. Grimoire is a story about a world emerging from childhood into the turmoil of adolescence, with anthropomorphic animals, prevalent magic, and wonder discovered on every page. With the help of ambient intelligences, mages are always searching for some lost word or artifact. Ambitious wonderkinder are constantly on a path of self-discovery and self-mastery, and honorable shamans reconnect their tribes with the wisdom of the past. Awakened dendrites shepherd the land through its many changes, while devoted exemplars seek only to transcend Athanasia and become one with the powers they serve. With so many who seek to write their own story, the tales of many are bound to intertwine. How will your story be told? Traditional adventurers are a must in Grimoire, and every session should feel like one chapter of a larger story. Those chapters might focus on one or two characters at a time, but every character should have their moment to realize his or her ultimate goal before the end of the campaign. Campaigns should be a combination of main plot, composed by the GM, even if it closely follows a module, and several character plots composed by the players for their PCs. Players are encouraged to write an outline for their character's plot from beginning to end and submit it to the GM before the campaign starts. The GM in turn should draw from these outlines to craft a main plot that carries out as many character plots as possible. The GM should also feel free to throw twists into the plot and give the characters something they asked for, but not in the way that they expected. Some of the most satisfying stories and campaigns are the ones where each character can benefit from each other's strengths and be challenged by their differences. For this reason, players are encouraged to be different from one another, in some aspect besides class. Perhaps they are each a different race or a different age. Perhaps they are from different areas of the world or worship different eldritch patrons. Whatever the case, the GM should focus on the differences between the characters and use those to create conflict as well as opportunities to support one another. These moments are excellent fuel for pushing character plots along. Any XP progression is permitted, provided it serves the plot. Magic and technology. As a relatively young world, most of Athanasia operates in the late Stone and early Bronze Ages. The animal races are little more than primitive tribes, many of which function like humanized versions of their animal counterparts. Alpha males lord over the Leonians, schools of sirens wander the sea without a dominant leader, and so on. Lacking more complex problems to cope with, the animal races see little need to advance the level of technology as a general rule. As usual, however, there is an exception to every rule. The most advanced technology comes from the teachings of the strangers, which has been scarce ever since most of the minor deities left Athanasia's surface around the time of the Cataclysm. The strange wisdom was primarily recorded and kept by the humans, which affords them technology well into the Iron Age, despite the strangers' absence. Mages are the most organized and curious among the spellcasting classes, and are the most likely to know about and use technology. Shamans and dendrites have access to strange wisdom, but they do not use it for technological purposes on a regular basis, only when needed. Exemplars of the light or dark may be gifted some level of technological proficiency by their eldritch patron, but devotees of the world soul shun technology in favor of raw elemental forces. Wonderkinder are often too preoccupied with the challenges posed by their magic to contribute to technological advances, but they are more than willing to take advantage of every edge they can get. Magic, on the other hand, is used by mages on a professional basis to accomplish many tasks at the level of modern-day convenience. Where the appropriate mages guild is present, coaches can be enchanted to drive without horses, stone bowls can warm food, and alchemical products can be purchased like medicine from a pharmacy. While other spellcasters might come up with similar conveniences, none are so interested in distributing their inventions as mages. Necromancy, the death sphere, has been formally forbidden by the Wizards' Tribunal, so consorting with undead and raising the dead is taboo on Usoria. While restoration, the life sphere, is not outlawed, the resuscitate talent resembles necromancy so closely that the lay observer that no professional practitioner will perform it. Once a PC is dead, it's extremely problematic to bring them back within the boundaries of Usoria. This doesn't stop those outside Usoria from practicing the necromantic arts, however. Leonians, seraphim, shamans, and dendrites are the most reliable sources of this sort of restorative magic. Among NPCs, advanced talents and rituals are only available to the elite members of a class. Archmages among the mages, avatars among the exemplars, mystics among the shamans, magisters among the wunderkinder, and elders among the dendrites. PCs should have access to advanced talents no sooner than 5th level, and even then must learn them from NPCs who know them. Their scarcity or prevalence is entirely within the hands of the GM. Some spheres are more thematically appropriate for specific races and classes, and these will be discussed in the next part, part 3, about character creation. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope to see you for part 3.